Guys, welcome. Dom here. So today's session is what we simply called a capacity session. So I've done this session a few different ways, but the principles remain the same. So you can do this with the ski machine, you can do it with the treadmill, you can do it with the rower, the assault bike, you can do it with skipping, you can do it with shuttle runs, you can do it with some body weight activity. But today we simply chose to use the treadmill, something we haven't done in a while. So what we have here is the breakdown of how the session runs. So it's a 30-minute session. So you're pretty much going to be on the piece of machinery for the entire duration. There's no real, let's call it rest, get off, lay down on the floor and think about calling your mama. There is active rest the whole way through this workout. So I've just done the session, I've done it with the treadmill. Not going super crazy. Again, I'm not the greatest of runner, but I still run. And the more that I do this, the better I can build up my capacity to endure this better and better and better. So how does the session work? Well, let's just jump to the whiteboard and let's just go through this. Hopefully you can see it and the reflection's not too bad. So basically we go a moderate pace to an easy pace to something with some speed. And the whole idea of this, as you can see as we go down, the times will slowly drop, meaning that each of the working intervals will get shorter. But the added challenge now is to increase the pace as you go down here throughout. So I'll give you some examples as we go through. So round number one, turn the treadmill on and we're off for 3 minutes. We're at 3 minutes at a steady, moderate pace, something that's going to get your heart rate up to about 70% initially, whatever that pace is for you. And then at the end of the 3 minutes, we're then going to pull it back a little bit into what we call a recovery phase, where we're still on the treadmill, we're still running with a moderate to easier pace, something that we can breathe, something we can have a conversation with. And then we jump after that there up to a final 30 second, and it's what I call run like you stole it. So again, that there's not going to go flat out straight away, but we're going to go, let's say 70 to 80, 70 to 75%, 50 to 60%, 75 to 80%. Probably give it a take. So for example, how I did this, I started on 10k an hour for the 3 minutes. I then dropped down to 8k an hour for the minute and a half. And then I simply went up from the 10 to the 12 for the 30 seconds. So again, moderate drop, a little bit of a peak. You then were going to get a active rest of 2 minutes. So in my case, I simply dropped the treadmill down to 6k an hour. So that's a nice steady state walk, something I can breathe, I can recover, I can watch my heart rate drop. I'm then going to come back onto interval number 2, and as you can see, my working time for the first round of moderate has now reduced. So I've gone, for example, say from 10k an hour to say 11k an hour. Simply going up a little tiny bit. My active recovery, I will keep that at say 8k an hour, maybe I want to go to 9, but then I'm going to bump this up. This is from 12, is going to go up to say 13k an hour. So what I'm slowly doing is my overall time of activity, of the running, of the getting the hoofs on the floor is going to reduce, but I'm going to increase my intensity, and then so on and so forth. So as you can see, this first round is 5 minutes long, add the break at 7, and as you can see, you slowly break this down. We're getting down now after the 4th round, we're at about the 22-minute mark. And by here, we're starting to see that we're literally pretty much going down to 1 minute in each one. Obviously down here, 1 minute of work, 30 seconds of recovery, and then 30 second sprint. The 30 second of the all out, whatever you got left, will always stay the same. My moderate time will slowly decrease, but then eventually my activity, my recovery time will also decrease accordingly, where we then come down to 2 final rounds of 30 seconds at moderate. By now is going to be up in the 80 percentile mark. The 30 second recovery, that's pretty much enough for the treadmill to simply wind itself down for you to get a few little big breaths, and then you're going to crank it back up for that final 30 second sprint home. And realistically, if I look at, I have the treadmill, and what that simply will let me do is, as I push whatever the number is, if I'm going say up to 16 or 18k an hour, it's going to take 2 or 3 seconds, and by the 5th second, I'm at 18. It's not a full-on. It's obviously this is a electronic one. It's not some of the assault runners where you're doing it yourself and having to drive with your feet. This will get me to pace pretty quick smart. So again, the whole idea of this is that we're slowly and systematically going to build intensity, but we're going to reduce the duration, and this is all about building our engine. So what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to try to recover as much as I can during these 2 minutes. These 2 minute recovery or active walks were still there, but then we get down to the final one, they start to drop to 1 and 1, and then the last one, you're pretty much 30 seconds moderate, 30 seconds recovery, 30 seconds all out, 30 seconds walk, try not to vomit, get ready to go again. And that's how the workout does today. And for me on the treadmill, all up, it was probably about 3.5, 4 Ks in total distance in the 30 minutes. Not a lot, but you're working your A off to get this activity done again today. So that's a workout. It's our capacity session. We use the treadmill today. Am I feeling it? Hell yeah, I'm feeling it. I haven't done this for a while. I've also done this on the assault bike, the ski erg and the rower. I've also done it with skipping. I've done it with doing things like body drops and shuttle runs. At the end of the day, it's all about just simply building my engine up to endure this longer and longer and longer. That's it. That's the workout today. I'm Don McStraw. This is the McStraw Method. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. Any questions, comment down below. Peace.